Gary Cooper, Barbara Stanwyck, Edward Arnold.
The Gulf Screen Guild Theater. Your host, the director of the Star's own theater, Roger Pryor.
Good evening, everyone. Your neighborhood good Gulf dealer and the Gulf Oil Companies welcome you once again to the Gulf Screen Guild Theater. We're all happy to have you with us as we inaugurate our fourth and brightest season in radio. To help give you an inkling of what to expect from us in future weeks, this week we bring to the air a screenplay that is truly an epic. The kind of a story you hear only in the Gulf Screen Guild Theater, the Star's own theater. The story, Frank Capra's Meet John Doe. And to make John Doe live, we bring you the three great stars who appeared in the screen version, Barbara Stanwyck, Gary Cooper, and Edward Arnold. You'll meet them in just a few seconds, and our play will begin. Meanwhile, I'd like to have you meet an old friend of yours from last season, Bud Easton.
You know, folks, the summer is over, but a good many of you motorists will find the effects of summer still lingering on in your cars. But the chances are summer dust and dirt have worked their way into the shackles and chassis bearings. The result is a lot of unwanted wear and tear. Well, to help end this wear and tear, to help make your car last longer and give you an easier ride, too, why not start this season off right with Gulf-Flex registered lubrication? Let the Gulf man go over those critical friction points and force out that dirt and dust with fresh Gulf-Flex chassis lubricants. At the same time, he will completely lubricate the running gear of your car with the 6 special Gulf-Flex products, each of which is designed to do its job well and to stay put, thus giving you long-lasting protection. As a result, your car will run better, handle easier, and ride more comfortably. And remember, the Gulf man can also protect the engine of your car with Gulf Lube motor oil, the best regular-priced motor oil Gulf has ever sold. So to help your car last longer, get both Gulf-Flex registered lubrication and Gulf Lube motor oil.
And here they are coming on stage. Barbara Stanwyck, Gary Cooper, and Edward Arnold. As the applause dies down, you hear Oscar Bradley's Gulf Orchestra raising the curtain on Meet John Doe. In tonight's play, you'll hear Edward Arnold as D.B. Norton, Barbara Stanwyck as Ann Mitchell, and Gary Cooper as John Doe. The scene is a hotel room. Outside is a crowd gone mad with hero worship. Inside the room is a young lady with a troubled mind.
Hear that noise? You know what it is? Well, that, my friends, is the voice of 15,000 fellow Americans who have come here to tell John Doe he's the greatest guy in the world. This hotel is the headquarters for the John Doe Club's conventions. And from right here in my window, I can see the ballpark where they'll all gather tonight. 15,000 fellow American suckers to hear John Doe. Yeah, that's what I said, suckers. Because you know something? There isn't any John Doe. That's right. There isn't any John Doe. He's a myth, a fraud, a cheat. I, Ann Mitchell, reporter, invented him 6 months ago. I didn't realize what I was starting when I typed John Doe on that piece of yellow copy paper. At the moment, it was just a cheap gag to fill up my gossip column in the Bulletin. And then 2 days later, I had a call from my boss, D.B. Norton, to come to his office. And that's where John Doe was born.
Tell me, Miss Mitchell. Do sit down and make yourself comfortable. And then explain the meaning of this piece of tripe you put in my newspaper.
Which particular fillet of tripe do you mean, Mr. Norton?
This John Doe letter.
Oh, that.
What are you trying to do, start a revolution? Just how long have you been using letters from crackpots to fill up your column?
What's cracked about it?
Would a sane man write anything like this? Dear Ann Mitchell, 4 years ago I lost my job. Since then, I haven't been able to get another one. At first, I blamed the state administration and its slimy politics. But in looking around, it seems to me the whole world's going to pot.
I think he's got something there.
In protest, I'm going to commit suicide by jumping off the City Hall roof. Signed, a disgusted American citizen, John Doe.
I don't see what you're sore about. He isn't going to jump off your roof, Mr. Norton.
This is no time to be funny. Now, 22 families want to board him free. 5 women want to marry him, and the city council is practically ready to adopt him.
That's stupendous.
Give me that letter.
There is no letter.
I'll find this man. What was that?
There's no letter.
No letter?
No letter at all.
You don't mean you...
Oh, but I do, Mr. Norton. There's no letter, no John Doe. I made it up.
You're fired.
Hey, now listen, you great big wonderful genius of a newspaper man.
Get out of my office.
Why do you suppose all those people are so excited about John Doe? Don't you see you've got the greatest human interest story in years right by the tail?
What story?
Suppose there was a John Doe and he walked in here. Do you know what I'd do?
What?
I'd make a deal with him.
Well, what kind of a deal?
Between now and, say, Christmas Eve when he plans to jump, I'd run a daily article by him.
You mean you'd write it?
Sure, he pours out his soul to me. Can't you see it in a special box on the front page? I Protest by John Doe.
But what does he protest?
Against everything, all the evils in the whole world. Greed, lust, hate, fear. Of man's inhumanity to man.
Well, where's your human interest?
Well, should he commit suicide or not? Thousands of letters pleading with him not to do it.
Thousands? You mean hundreds of thousands? But John Doe is adamant.
Determined.
Unflinching.
Resolute.
Then on Christmas Eve, he relents.
Yeah, in a special Christmas extra.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. Let's say, wait a minute. You're getting me as crazy as you are. Who relents?
The man we hire for the job, you lunkhead.
Hire?
Now, just leave everything to me, Mr. Norton. I'll find us a John Doe.
Good man, but I'm afraid you won't do.
I ain't a bum 'cause I'm afraid of work, Chief. I just ain't got a strong constitution.
Come on, get going,
This way out, mister.
Okay, you bourgeoisies.
It's no use, Sam. This is all ridiculous.
Oh, let's try just one more. I'll spot a good one. Stop pushing. Stop pushing. Hey, you, the tall fellow in the corner. You're next.
Yes, ma'am. I knew this was a crazy idea.
Put your hat on the chair and come over here by the window.
Yes, ma'am.
I suppose you claim to be the man who wrote the suicide letter?
No, ma'am.
What did you say?
I didn't write any letter.
Well, that's a switch.
Oh. Well, what are you doing up here?
Well, the paper said there was some jobs around loose. I thought there might be one left over.
What do you do in your work?
Well, I used to pitch.
Baseball?
Until my wing went bad. It'd be all right now if I had the money for Bonesetter Brown to fix it.
Where'd you play?
Bush leagues, mostly.
I think he's our man.
So do I.
What's your name?
John Willoughby. Long John Willoughby, they called me in baseball.
Would you like to make some money?
Yeah, maybe.
You read the John Doe letter?
Yeah, I read it.
Would you be willing to say you wrote that letter and stick by it?
Yeah, maybe.
Will you sign an agreement giving us an exclusive story under your name day by day from now until Christmas?
Well, maybe.
Well, you'll get new clothes, spending money, a suite in the best hotel.
Well,
And on top of that, the Bulletin agrees to pay to have your arm fixed.
yeah?
Uh-huh.
Okay, only it's got to be by Bonesetter Brown.
Bonesetter Brown it is.
Then it's settled. From now on, you're John Doe.
Okay, I'm John Doe.
Now, this John Doe is a very serious person. Can you look serious?
Well, maybe.
Well, come on. Can you look serious? Let's see you.
Can't.
Why not?
I'm feeling too good about having my arm fixed.
Oh, come on now, try. You're a man disgusted with all civilization.
With all of it?
Yeah, you're sore at the world.
Oh, crabby guy, huh? Okay, how's this?
Oh, no. Look, the world may be rotten, but you don't have to smell it. Look, everything's haywire, see? And you protest.
Against what?
Against anything, just protest.
You got me.
Oh, wait a minute. Look, John, I'm the umpire, see? You've just cut the heart of the plate with your fast one, and I call it a ball. What do you say?
My fast one?
Your fast one.
Right over the plate?
Right square over the plate.
You called it a ball?
I call it a ball.
Why, you bone-headed, droop-snooted, lop-eared billy
That's
goat.
it!
That's perfect.
Any umpire that would... Good Lord.
Fainted.
Fainted? What's the matter
He's
with him?
starving, you dope. Get some water, get some sandwiches, get a steak. Do you want John Doe to pass out on us 6 months ahead of schedule? He can't do this to the Bulletin until Christmas Eve. Let's see, the smart angle to get them talking about your first speech would be morality. Sin's a great subject.
You write it and I'll say it. You know your nose sort of wrinkles when you talk?
You read what John Doe said? But believe me, brother, he's absolutely right. I've been driving a taxi in this break for 10 years, and I ought to know.
Boy, are you wowing them. The Bulletin circulation is up 20%. You know, this John Doe stuff really has something.
Yes, it's got your faith behind it, and you're swell.
He's so earnest and fearless. As I said to my husband, if we had more men like John Doe, there'd be fewer crooks in our city hall.
You realize they're talking about John Doe all over the state?
Makes me feel kind of funny. A guy couldn't disappoint all those people, could he?
Oh, you're getting more fan mail than a movie star. There's no stopping this thing.
Extra paper. John Doe goes on the air tonight. Popular figure in nationwide broadcast. Extra paper. Read all about it. John Doe.
We've got to stick together because we're a great family, the John Doe. We raise the crops, we dig the mines, work the factories, keep the books, fly the planes, and drive the buses. We've existed since time began, and although we've hit the canvas a lot of times, we've always bounced back. And why? Because we are the people, and we are tough.
Listen to the radio, Ann. They're giving our John Doe a great reception. He's got the crowd right in his hand.
It was wonderful. Listen.
They've started a lot of talk about free people going soft, that we can't take it, that...
What's happened? What's the matter with the radio?
Oh, it's all right. I just turned it off for a minute. While the rest of the country's listening to John Doe, there's something I want to talk to you about. Something very important. How much am I paying you now, Miss Mitchell?
$50 a week.
Good. And from now on, it'll be $500.
Oh, that's very generous, Mr. Norton, but why?
Your John Doe idea has turned out to be a big thing, and it can be stupendous. I can see it sweeping from coast to coast like wildfire. I can see John Doe clubs springing up all over the country. And then, a few months from now, the Bulletin will sponsor a great John Doe convention.
It sounds great, but I don't get it.
Get what?
Well, you're no philanthropist. What do you get out of it?
That's what I like about you. Right to the point. All right, Miss Practical. Here it is. Suppose at that John Doe convention, representing about 90% of the voters, our John Doe announces the formation of a third party.
A political party?
The John Doe Party, devoted entirely to the interests of all the John Does all over the country. Then our John Doe will announce the third party's candidate for the presidency. A great humanitarian, the best friend the John Doe's ever had.
You? D.B. Norton?
Yes.
Wow.
What do you say?
I don't know. What about John Doe?
Well, John Doe isn't real. You made him up. Say, look here. You haven't fallen in love with him, have you?
Well, you can't fall in love with someone who isn't real, can you?
That's a good girl. This is a big thing for both of us, Ann. I'll have a new contract waiting for you to sign tomorrow morning. Now let's hear how your John Doe's doing on the air. You'll be about finished.
Christmas lasts the whole year around. Gosh, if it ever did, if each and every John Doe would make that spirit last 365 days out of the year, we'd create such a tidal wave of goodwill that no human force could stand against it. Look up the guy next door to you. His name's John Doe, too. If he's hungry, feed him. If he's sick, help him. If he's out of a job, find him one. Wake up, John Doe. You are the hope of the world.
I wonder if we're wrong, Mr. Norton. Just listen to that applause. How can we say John Doe isn't real?
He's real to all those saps, Miss Mitchell. Just real enough to make me the next president of the United States.
And so the Gulf curtain falls on Act One of Meet John Doe. As usual, our Between the Acts intermission here in the Gulf Theater is a brief one, so we've just time to leave you with this thought.
Folks, you know that if you stop at any gasoline station, you can get a gasoline that will make your motor turn over. But do you know this? Do you know that if you stop at the sign of the Gulf Orange Disc, you can get a gasoline that will not only give you smooth, power-packed performance, it will also help your car last longer. That gasoline is 1941 Gulf No-Nox. You see, 1941 Gulf No-Nox is a lubricated gasoline, has been especially treated to improve valve action and give you extra safety against major repairs. At the same time, Gulf No-Nox has been stepped up to a mighty high anti-knock rating, is actually knock-proof under all normal driving conditions. So to help your car stay young longer, and meanwhile give you smooth, more trouble-free performance, stop at your neighborhood Good Gulf dealers for a tank full of lubricated Gulf No-Nox gasoline.